Jodie, I told my mom I was interviewing you today, and I think she's legitimately scared of you because of Killing Eve. So great job. Great job.
I love that.
Yeah. So my first question for you, Ryan, is you are a comedic genius. You're a dramatic powerhouse, an incredibly successful entrepreneur. You're distractingly handsome. You keep your bod pretty tight. You're the star of these huge Hollywood movies. What about the Free Guy script made you go, yes, I can play this average man?
Wow. Well, with a preamble like that, who needs friends? I think, I like this idea that the movie isn't just about Guy. It's about everyone in the background. I mean, it's about all these NPCs that live in these shadows and that, unite together to form a common good and actually become agents of change. And so it was less about centering myself in that journey, although the movie is called Free Guy, as in Guy, my character. But to me, it just felt like it's a dance floor of fun. There was so much about that world. It wasn't even in the script as much that I just felt like, oh, this is, it's got to be done. It was just the idea of it. I felt so really resonated for me, given everything that every news cycle after news cycle after news cycle we've been through. It just felt like I want to be able to have the experience I had when I was a kid, where I went to a movie and it was an original, non-IP, non-comic book movie, just an original movie like Back to the Future or something like that, where I got to be just transported and I got to leave a theater with a huge smile on my face, thinking about that movie for the next week or two. And just, I don't know, to me it was an opportunity to have a bit of that.
Jodie, I told my mom I was interviewing you today, and I think she's legitimately scared of you because of Killing Eve. So great job. Great job.
I love that.
Yeah, really good. She was like, oh, I'm like, she's a talented actor, Mom. She's like, no, I know.
I love it. Oh.
Yeah.
She's worried for you.
In Free Guy, you play Millie. You play her video game avatar, Molotov Girl. Molotov Girl, she is this badass, empowering character. She's super cool, but she doesn't look like what a stereotypical man's ideal of what an avatar should look like. So tell me about sort of developing that character and developing the costume and the look for Molotov Girl.
I'm glad you felt that, because I think for me, I was like, the biggest thing when creating Molotov was like, it has to feel real. It has to feel true to a young woman who's created this. It has to be practical. There's no 6-inch heels scaling a wall. Not on my watch. So it was really amazing to be included in those types of conversations to start off with. I was very overwhelmed, I have to say. I think, this was my first film, especially of this scale. I was really, really overwhelmed. But it was amazing being a part of those conversations. Where the costume ended and where it started were two completely different worlds.
Wow.
I know for Ryan, he really kind of took inspiration from Bonnie and Clyde and that kind of bygone era, and then that kind of morphed into this kind of punk element. So it was kind of a mismatch of everything. Yeah, and it was, a lot of leather in the Boston summer heat. So it was lovely.
Great. The other side of this character that you play, Millie, in the real world is she's a fantastic character overall, but you're kind of, with Millie, the emotional center of the film, especially with Joe Keery's character, Keys. And you guys had some fantastic scenes together. What was it like shooting those scenes?
It was amazing. I mean, Joe is wonderful. He's such an incredible actor. And I feel like when we met, we got on very well. There was a great chemistry there anyway, which really kind of enabled us to kind of relax into it, because it's so funny because these characters are supposed to have known each other, nearly all their lives.
Right,
and then you're kind of shaking hands with someone, and then you're, sitting down in front of a camera. So to have already felt like we kind of had the groundwork there was amazing. Once we kind of did our initial scenes together, they kind of noticed something and were like, we should really explore this a little bit more. And so that relationship ended up being much bigger than what was first intended.
Yeah. You are the heart of this movie, Rel, the heart of this movie. And this movie is already brimming with heart. Your scenes with Ryan, where you guys are best friends together, they're so wholesome and joyful. What was it like getting to play that you guys were best friends?
I mean, it felt fun. I mean, to be honest with you. And, Ryan, he's legit a really cool dude to be around and talk to and work with. It just worked itself out. And then us both understanding who Buddy and Guy is, us keeping our innocence is what made that friendship look real.
Yep.
And with those characters, you really had to think from like almost like a 4-year-old.
Yeah, it was great. The highest possible compliment is that it gave me like SpongeBob and Patrick vibes, this kind of beautiful, childlike friendship. I know that you're a fan of Ryan, but you said one of your favorite movies is Definitely Maybe, which is kind of surprising. What is it about that movie that you're a fan of?
A couple of reasons. Once again, I am a hopeless romantic. It has the rom-com feel to it because you're trying to figure out which one of those women that he really actually fell in love with.
Right.
And then the daddy-daughter perspective. I have a daughter, and
right.
But this is the thing about I didn't have when that movie came out. I don't even think I had a kid yet, actually. So like, I was one of those weirdos that couldn't wait to have a daughter because I couldn't wait to have that daddy-daughter relationship. I mean, Father of the Bride is one of my favorite movies too, because of that. Like, so like, and it's funny now too. And that's why I think I watch it so much now. I'm watching it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like watch it Definitely Maybe now compared to when I first saw it. It's like, all right, I'm divorced. Like I have a story like that, like in a way, right? And it's this beautiful story. And man, yeah, I love it. I literally just watched it the other day. Like I love it.
You're heartbreakingly good in this movie. You have this scene where you're talking about what's real together, and it was just gorgeous. What was it like shooting that scene?
It felt cool. I mean, it's one of those things sometimes, just as an actor, that is some dialogue or just some, and I saw this in a Jim Carrey documentary, which is why I think you take something away from every movie and character you play. And what I love about that scene, once again, it's just a committed friend. And I've played a friend a couple of times. But it's different types of friends, which is why, like, sometimes you're like, you always playing a friend, but I'm like, they all different.
Yeah.
You need to see what different friendships look like. There's different type of friends out here you should have.
Absolutely.
You should have a ride or die that'll pick you up after you murdered a bunch of people that try to kill you. Yes, you need that friend. You also need a friend to tell you about yourself and tell you how dope you is and how they got your back regardless. So you just need, and I enjoy doing that, man. If I got to break a record in Guinness Book of World Records for playing a friend and being in the most basketball movies, that's going to be my goal.
I don't know if it's weird to get asked in your position about marketing material, but seriously, you and your teams should be really proud because Free Guy's marketing is brilliant. Whose idea was it to have you and Taika play your Marvel characters? Because that was incredible.
I love I own a marketing company. That's what we do. So we wrote that piece. Myself and George Dewey, my partner at the company, wrote the Deadpool Korg spot. And really, we wrote it hoping that Disney would say yes, but we didn't think they would. I'd initially pitched to Disney writing I'd actually written it already. It was a short film to go in front of Free Guy of Deadpool interrogating the hunter who killed Bambi's mom. And they said no. They said no to that. So this was kind of okay, well, what else could we do? And then the Deadpool Korg idea came about. And then Taika said, I'm happy to do it and jump in. And he did it in a moment's notice. And off we went, so yeah.
Are you ready to disappoint Deadpool fans if Korg is not in Deadpool 3? Because it's such a beautiful pairing, you guys. It's great.
I think they're both like very, Deadpool, for as subversive as he is, he's actually just a child, he's very childlike and innocent, and I think that he and Korg have a lot more in common than not. So I would love to do something with Korg at some point. That'd be great.
Well, fingers crossed, man. I love the movie. Thank you so much for talking to me. Ryan, have a fantastic rest of your day, you handsome son of a bitch.
Well, thank you, Hector. I appreciate it. The feeling is very mutual.